Comboio Alfa, CP Comboios de Portugal, procedente de Lisboa, Santa Apolónia e com destino a Braga, que deverá dar entrada na linha número 1. Circula com um atraso de 5 minutos. A sua hora prevista de chegada é às 16 horas e 15 minutos. Pedimos a vossa compreensão pelos incômodos causados. Dentro de momentos, dará entrada na linha número 1. O comboio.
Entremete de Darwin Nunes é o que abriu o marcador. O Luís Adepes a Carneiro. A luz pode voltar outra vez. E a luz e hoje quem vai gritar o gol? Se a bola entrar vão ser os adeptos. Eu depois vou acompanhar. Ai, ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar.
No, get those lights off. Off. Turn them off. They're too bright. Turn them off. Turn them off. Let's go. Ready? Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn them off.
Yeah, that Darwin goal didn't get stick around, did it? Did it? So, thank you everyone for joining. It's another edition of unboxing of new Legos on Benfica Plays with Legos because we don't do anything on the pitch, but what we do is we grab Lego kits and we get all these different characters. We sign up all these different characters. We get very excited, and we build something up, and we're like, "Wow, this is nice. I like it's built." And then we fuck it up because we drop it, and all the pieces get smashed, and then the fucking kids are crying, and no one's happy.
That's it. That's
there we
pretty
go.
much the recap of the season, isn't it?
Pretty
All
much.
right. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. Peace.
Thanks, guys. It'd be funny if he did that. And then we're like, oh,
Legit-
shit, okay.
Legit ended. Just legit ended. You know? Oh my god, the fruta. I ain't got no fruta. At least where's the fruta? Fuck man. Well, there's one fruta, the Rui Costa banana one. Yeah, man. This was it was an interesting season. We got one more game left. It's just a cameo bit, but it's not even a home game anymore.
Cameo bit.
I gotta say. The Make-A-Wish Foundation. I wish one day, like if it's a Classico, I hope Benfica one day is a club of a level that can sell out a Classico. One day again in the future, because that stadium, I had people in various DM chats sending me photos of a couple people at the match. It was so vacant. There's so many empty seats all over that stadium. The fan base right now is so broken, and it's sad because you know what, man, I understand the season's done. I think a lot of people didn't go because they knew this was going to be the outcome. I really think that
of course
they knew this was going to happen, and they don't want to be there to watch it, and they don't want to be there for the lights to get turned off by Rui Costa, and they don't want to be part of that shenanigans.
And the thing is, by the outcome, I don't think that the people thought Benfica's not going to play well when they're going to lose. I think people thought the entire season we've seen the referees helping out a certain club. There is no way they're not going to do that today. Like, I didn't watch the game. I lost £10 because I had £10 on a penalty. But like, he just knew it was going to happen. Like, even before I watched the highlights, you could see 9 yellows. I thought, yeah, okay. And then I saw the goal, and I was like, wait, what? Is this the? I'm like, come on, man. And it's funny because when I watched the highlights, it took them like more than 4 minutes to decide whether it was a goal or not. And we've been live for 4 minutes right now. So the time we've been live was the same time that people behind the computer that just have to go offside or no offside, took them to find the right frame, the right pixel. And I'm not like, that's not sugarcoat shit. We all know that this title, like many others, but this one is completely bought. Like, I don't care if people come in, they deserve it, or fuck off. Even the Porto fans sat there today thinking, fucking hell, guys, like, fair enough, we won this. I'm not going to say names. I have a Porto fan that has messaged me saying, you know what, I feel a little bit upset with my own club. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, like, sure, but, and he's a member or was a member of the Super Dragões. And he's messaging me like, I feel a little bit upset because like this, it doesn't really feel the same. Like he knows he's been absolutely bought, and my only question, and I know Fernando's in the chat and he mentioned it as well, is with so many people out there being crazy, right? So many people, unfortunately, depressed people. How the fuck has no one got a bloody put a gun against Pinto da Costa's head? Like how, you see, no, again, I don't want to put a dark message out there, but you see so many people freaking, how do I word this so it's not wrong? Like losing their time and losing their heads and being criminals and making the wrong decisions towards the wrong person. Why wouldn't you make a wrong decision towards the right person? So many years, so many weird, crazy people, North, Center, South Portugal. How has no one thought, hey, I got a spare bullet? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but
Yeah, no. But let's put it this way. I find there's a lot of intimidation of refs, and a lot of intimidation on the Porto side of refs. And they'll cry about Benfica or Sporting complaining about refs, but these referees know that if they call the call, it's 50-50, and they don't give it to Port, they're going to get a visit. And therefore, they give it to Port every single time. Yeah. These guys know when there's a foul and the guy blows or says, okay, not a foul, and Otavio in the first half runs to the ref's face and screams at his face, yells at him. Eventually, was, okay, I'm sorry, and turned around and gave a Benfica player a yellow. Play was done. Move on. Otavio's like, what? Come back here. Screamed at him, berated him until he got a yellow. Otamendi turns around later in the match with a foul. Goes, what are you doing? He's like, don't complain. Yellow. It's like the Porto guys can scream in the ref's face, get no cards. On the other end, it's just insane. Insane. It is just a certain level. But at the same time, those who actually truly care, truly complain, truly make us think, the greasy wheel gets the oil, how it goes, right? Or gets the attention. Yeah. And they're the greasiest wheel out there, man. They make all the noise and they get the attention. It's the way it's been. It's a joke. It's frustrating. At the end of the day, Benfica getting away from the refs from 2 seconds. Let's get away from the refs. I know the refs have impacted the season. It's been a joke. Refereeing is terrible. But on one note, Benfica is one more weekend left. They're right now at 76 points. Porto's at 84 points. That gap from first to third, that is a big gap. That is after spending the money we spent last year and then spending the money we spent in prior years. It does, you kind of start looking and go, listen, you can't spend that type of money and
not see anything for it.
And kind of not see it, yeah. And I'm going to quickly just pull it up. And if you go into last season, and it's kind of not to be, okay, again, granted, give me 1 second here while I get it up here. We got one more match remaining. So, the points will shift a little bit. Maybe Porto loses their last game. Maybe Benfica wins their last game. So there's a bit of a difference. But last year, the difference was Benfica had 76 points, Porto 85 points. If you kind of look at that this season to last season, it's almost no difference. No difference. Identical. Like you could kind of make the argument saying it was a rebuild year, and then this year we were supposed to do better, and we just haven't. And we had George Jesus, yes, was a disaster, but Nelson Verissimo. I know now we got Schmidt coming. I'm excited. It seems like we're building something, so I'm very excited for next season. Don't get me wrong, very excited, but it's just the last couple of years have been really rough as a fan base. We can cry about the refs, and I think there's a lot of justified crying. But at the same time, you can't drop as many points as we have throughout all the season, man. It's just brutal. But yeah.
I understand everything you're saying. I just think this season, more than any other season in the past, I think the only thing that was left to happen this season was Vitor Bahia saving a ball inside the net. Because I think the rest has just been they've had penalties that don't exist, free kicks that don't exist, teams playing with a C team, D team to help them out, corners that don't exist. What else? They've had it's almost like it's a circus, And I
It is.
think
It's this year's been
as a
insanely
club,
brutal.
we as a club, it's our fault because we should come out and say, okay, well, first things first. No matter how big they think they are, they're not. So we run the motherfucking football in Portugal. Benfica don't attend the away game, no one makes money. So let's not go. Let's tell our sócios, do not go to any away games. Literally blackout. You see teams suffering big time. You see, fuck what? The Benfica fans are not spending 4 and 5, 6,000 euros to come and watch, Benfica against Marítimo. Benfica Portimonense has has 33% of the stadium. Mate, honestly, the Liga will literally sit down and think, shit. Straight up. That is just one thing. Forget about the comunicados. Forget about coming out and fucking saying, just say one thing. Hey, as sócios, let's fix Portuguese football. Let's not go to any away games. Completely sell out Estádio da Luz. Let's not go to any away games. Done. Within 6 months, you'll have the entire Liga begging, we need to fix it because we're losing. Only Sporting Porto Braga and maybe Vitória would be able to actually survive. Everyone else would be like shit. Everyone else.
No, I agree with you. I think it's a case where you got to apply the pressure, and the pressure has to come from the collective, and the collective is the Tondelas of the world. Rio Ave's going to get promoted next year. Rio Ave's going to need that money from Benfica visiting. If Benfica says, listen, we're not going to visit unless you, Rio Ave, cause a stink, and unless you, Marítimo, cause a stink, and Santa Clara and Boa Vista and all these clubs, just don't. We're going to just tell our fans not to go. And the fans will. I remember this is going back years ago. This is actually under Luis Vieira, but this is going back pre-Benfica TV. I believe it's pre. There was a point where Benfica did that once as a protest because of the TV rights before we kind of took our own TV rights back because we were kind of getting pissed off at how things were going. And, we didn't like the fact that they kind of made an agreement and signed a contract saying that, okay, Porto got more money than Benfica all of a sudden for TV rights, even though we're the biggest club. And they put a clause in there saying that if for some reason Benfica is able to renegotiate, they would have to increase Porto's income. It was kind of like this poison pill that somehow the Liga agreed with Porto to always ensure they have more money than Benfica on TV rights. And there's this whole protest they staged, don't go to away games to apply pressure. And then at that point, they said they did it a little bit for a bit of a season. And then the announcement was made that, listen, we're going to, retain our rights. We're not going to renew when that time comes up. We're going to keep it. You can go fly a kite. But yeah, they got to do that, man. They got to do it. It's terrible, but you got to throw your weight around. You got to have, there's a new TV deal that's coming out. Supposedly we're going to lose some money. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. For me, I wouldn't mind a TV deal that actually organized it all because I think right now it's dysfunctional. But at the same time, it's just that this club's got to get better at applying some pressure, especially since the headquarters is in Porto. There's already that influence, right? So you got to do above and beyond to balance the thing out.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyways, let's get into the 11 real quickly here. I'll just toss this up on the screen for everyone, and we'll get into a little bit of the game. It's been a while since we've had a show, so we're going to touch on this match. So we'll get into this real quickly on this side here. For this match, we had in the starting 11, Odysseus in the back, Grimaldo and Gilberto on the wings, Vertonghen, Otamendi, Weigl as the defensive mid, then Lazaro, Diaz, Tarap, Ramj, and Darwin. That was your 11. Seferovic made a surprising start. It's been a long time since I've seen Seferovic. As coming off the bench. And we'll get into that in a bit in terms of later substitutions. But I'll give just a quick synopsis of the match itself in terms of kind of what we saw and what kind of came through. In short, Benfica actually, in my opinion, it was one of the only games Porto this season did not have the majority of possession. They actually did put up one heck of a fight. You got to give credit where it's due. They came out, they fought good. It was a tight affair. Think of the last time you've seen Benfica have 60% possession for sport. You don't see that very often. So as upset as we are at the club failing this season, at basically the result, the match itself, some silver linings is that this team that went toe-to-toe at Liverpool, did good against Ajax. There is some talent there. There is something in this team that we could build on. So I don't want to be a negative Nelly the whole time. But this team did put up a good fight. The first half it was 61%. The second half was 65% for the ball possession on another one I'm looking at here for the ball possession in general. And we fought, man. We put up a good fight. We put up a good battle. And I'm gonna nag about the refs. But the refs were a bit rough, man. In terms of the players themselves, I didn't think Lazaro was that bad, to be honest. He hasn't been the greatest when I've seen him, but he wasn't that bad this match. Gil Diaz, I don't know, man. He again, first half wasn't too bad, but then he started tapering off. But one thing this match, and it's kind of skipping ahead to the goal that Porto got, is we can't rely on Vertonghen and Otamendi. We can't rely on these really slow individuals. That goal was a situation where the ball got played through. Vertonghen was next to his man. There's another individual running. I'm trying to remember who it was, trying to close down space. As soon as that ball got passed, you could see them charging, and Vertonghen just slowly pacing further and further back. So it kind of like a situation where it was like 3-on-1, 3-on-2, and just from Vertonghen losing pacing, it became an easy kind of setup for Porto for the goal.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, man.
This is very true. I don't care what Viking said. Andrew, the reason Porto doesn't have a pod is because you'd spend 90 minutes talking about Benfica. So then you'd become a Benfica pod. So then it wouldn't work, would it? Because it'd be like, today we played well and we beat Academica 2-0. What did Benfica do? Did they do all right? Hey, que no salta love, yo. You know, so it wouldn't work. So that's why there's no pod. Anyway, carry on, man.
Yeah, no, it's felt like Bret Hart in Montreal, BC with the offside call as a screw job. I'm sorry, 2 centimeters. The way they showed it, and there's
no offside, bro.
There is
no offside.
If you have, there's a still where he's kicking the ball, he's onside. Yeah. A still where he's pulling his foot through.
It took them 4 minutes. They were looking for the frame. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue. That's everybody's got their opinion. It took you 4 minutes. I watched 3 goals in Anfield that all went to VAR. None of them took them 4 minutes. And I could see them working on the
all
screen.
3 combined didn't take 4 minutes.
I could see them work. And this, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. They put the fucking thing on the screen. You know, like the little. Yeah, I was like, that's a bit risky, mate. I'm like, is it a goal? And you see the entire stadium like,
all right.
And I'm like, fair enough. I don't want anything on the screen. If they put take 4 minutes though. Sorry.
No. But the thing is, I believe it should be very transparent. It should be very clear, and that's the weakness this league has, man. And it's these referees have been absolutely painful. And I know I'm complaining about Benfica today, but they've been terrible for Tondela versus Vizela. They've been terrible for Sporting versus Boavista or something like that. It's like you pick a match. It's just it is rare to find one match that is officiated properly in this liga. Like, this has been by far the worst season I've seen it. Now, I'm crying as a Benfica because we got impacted quite a bit. But at the same time, I don't want to make it seem like it's just us. It's just a very brutal, absolutely brutal way of running with it. And I just can't. I still that offside's a joke, total joke.
I think that offside summed up our kind of season so far. You know.
And there's certain things. There's the play earlier on, and I can't even remember who got it. It was I think it was Lazaro got 2 foot stud tackled, absolutely brutal, and they gave a yellow card to Benfica on a prior play. But ignored that play completely, and you're like, what the heck? What in the world happened there? And the argument being like, well, technically the play got called back, so you can't give any cards for anything after the play gets called back, unless it's VAR and Darwin takes off his jersey afterwards, gets a yellow for taking off the jersey, but we call back the play, but the referee confirmed, no, you get to keep the yellow because you get to keep the cards if you're Benfica. And it's after the play. Yeah. But if normally the rules are,
did he kept the yellow?
He kept the yellow.
Okay, so the outcome of a situation doesn't.
I could get the.
I score a goal and take the shit off. Then that goal doesn't count. So the entire play is
reversed. It's brought back.
The moment that I received that ball in the offside.
So you can't get it. Yeah.
Right, honestly. And you guys are still thinking. I see the chat here. Like, by the way, thank you for tuning in. Most of the people are saying, I can't believe it's offside. Like, the reason you can't believe it's offside because there's no offside. like there's no 2 meters, 2
There's
There was
two-
no offside. There are frames.
every other frame that they've shown, and they've shown a frame from the other angle, he's
Yeah.
onside. Every single
Yeah.
one is onside.
And the
So
thing
it's
is,
like,
even the frame that they showed, he's on side because when you see, I don't know who's defending because I believe it or not, I don't watch sport. The defender that is marking Darwin Núñez wearing blue, his line is on his shoulder, and then Darwin Núñez' line is on his fucking arm. I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's
Yeah,
laughable. It's laughable. And then you have Portisas up there going, hey. And then when you say something like, guys, you do know it's robbed. Okay, no, actually, before they used to say it's not robbed. It's now they know. So they go, it doesn't matter if it's robbed. We're the champions. Okay, now you're acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Now you think, like the guy that told me is my mate, so I'm not going to say any names. He said, I do feel a bit upset because like this, it doesn't feel the same. Before, it was like, no, bro, you're just overreacting. When is it robbed? When is it this? Now it's like,
no,
it might be robbed, but
was
we're
bad,
the
this one.
champions. I think VAR brought that into the Portuguese Liga, where it's now so obvious. Before it was like, for example,
there's human error. There's human error. Don't get me wrong.
I was getting to that.
Yeah.
Today, without VAR, you might think, you know what, man? It's too close to call. It is. It is. But with VAR, it tells you that it's not because it's not offside. But hey, let's have a look at these frames. Okay. Stop it there. That one works. Let's go. Come on. Like put the line on his bicep. Go on.
And here's how you know it's bad. Benfica scores. They celebrate. Port runs to kickoff. Everyone on Porto's team goes, good goal. Let's play on. Everyone's at kickoff, ready to go. It was only all this. Everyone was in shock. Porto's players are like, what? You're calling that off? Oh, all right. We'll take it. Sure. Okay. Like everyone was in shock, including the Portistas. So there's no going around and kind of, there was no one debating it. No one saying, oh, you got to check that VAR. People were kind of confused.
The defender knows that when the ball is played, Darwin's behind him. Because he's like that, right? I mean, I was going to say Ethan might know better than me. But if you're a defender and you're doing this, your peripheral vision will tell you that this motherfucker called Darwin is not in front of you. So when he's running, he's thinking, yeah, that guy is definitely behind me. And then he's like, he's offside? Fucking great. I need to play for this club for more years, man. Because as soon as I leave, it's not going to be so easy, is it? You can see against Spurs today, can't you? You don't get given penalties all the time.
Yeah. I'll say this to Andrew. We'll chat on him in a second, but quite excited with the new signing. I do think there's, again, I don't know what else to kind of add. I think this likely the other guy to kind of discuss is Darwin. Everyone's saying that it's possibly his last match of the season. There is some kind of a bit of kind of moments, like soft moments, where all of a sudden, and I'll put it up here on the screen for everyone to see in a second. Just give me a moment and I'll grab it. But basically, Jake shared this with myself earlier. When he's walking off, grabs the badge and does the I'm staying here kind of thing.
It's not up to him though, is it? That's being realistic.
It could be him saying, my heart's with this club. 100 million, 80 million comes knocking. It's going to be very tough to retain this guy. It's a situation where at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? But he had one heck of a season. He really came on in the second half of the season. He lit it up. It's very disappointing that at the end of the day he's going to leave.
That's a very good point. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Glenn brought up a fucking insanely good point. That's a really good point. If the ball has to go completely out, not 2 centimeters or 5 or 3, why does an offside? That's a good point. That's something for FIFA, I guess, to think about next few years. Because if you think about it, right, and this is, I know you guys are gonna laugh at me, but realistically, if I'm a size 8 and Ethan is a size 12, that's about 2 centimeters. So if he's got the foot at the same fucking position as mine, but he has bigger feet, then he's offside. Maybe that should be like a threshold, I don't know. I'm not FIFA, am I?
No, but I agree. I think some people have made a comment that I think depending on the league, the margin of error is 5, 6, 8 centimeters or so. 2 centimeters is Epcanine. It's nothing. It's so tiny. And you're looking
Hey,
for
2
such
centimeters is quite big. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, man. You know how they say like the size doesn't matter.
Well, it mattered today.
At 2 centimeters, it matters, man. You know, when they're saying size doesn't matter, they're saying 8 centimeters, you can work with it at least, right? You can still do something with 8 centimeters. 2 centimeters, not that much you could do, man. At that point, you're just identifying as something else. Anyways, I'm just gonna get it canceled. And my God, I can't be saying those jokes. The comment Cynthia made, which was quite funny. You know, if they pay $100 million for Grealish, you know, Darwin's gonna be like easy pickings. And
Hey, can I just add? You pay $100 million to lose the Champions League, then Darwin is worth a lot more. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go into it, but the reason Madrid is in there, Jack Grealish. If you guys watch the game, he didn't defend, and when it came to scoring, my man was so focused on getting that Champions League goal that he was like this. He's like, I ain't gonna get it. And then he did. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. Fuck City. But yeah. So yeah, 250 million for Darwin.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Easy, man.
But going back to chat, because you guys have obviously been throwing a bunch of comments. Boris, the subs, this right here, I agree with this so much. So, you know, Benfica's playing well. They're attacking, and you know, there's moments where, you know, it goes back and forth, man. You can't play amazing 100% of the time against Porto. Porto's a tough team. We got more possession. We are creating chances. There's a certain situation, and then all of a sudden we have this kind of situation where we score a goal, and it's canceled. It's completely canceled. That was at the 54th minute, right, when that happened. But we're still putting some pressure. We go back right away to putting pressure. We had this momentum from right prior to scoring the goal to right after the VAR that, you know, we're putting pressure. And he does a substitution. He takes, you know, Gilles out for Seth. Now, again, people know I'm not the biggest fan of Seferovic. Like, this guy is whatever. I'm not going to.
We all know why he played, right?
They're trying to sell him. You know, they're trying to sell. It is exactly, and that to me is what drives me nuts. Is that the mindset of this club is that, oh, it's Port. Maybe he comes in if he does something good. Right now, his value is 0. If he can pull something off, he might be. You know what? He might be worth something. But you know, Seferovic. You know, the last. I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Last match he didn't play. Famalicão, he played 6 minutes at the very tail end to kill some time. And then he hadn't played since April 1st for a couple minutes at the end. Then he was pretty much, prior to that, had played in January because he's out for injury. He's not been featured at all at this team. I'm not saying that it should have been Chuck. Actually, I am going to say it was Chuck. It should. Now, Chuck eventually came on. But it's just a poor substitution. It's a poor choice. He didn't do too much. He had like one good play, and that's about it. And also, you know, around that point, also he then shortly afterwards took out Rams, brought in Chuck, which fine. Bring out João Mario. I don't think João Mario did too much. You know, he had a few moments where he did okay, but I don't know, man. I felt like after a while, like we weren't getting the same momentum we were going prior. Like I feel like the substitutions did actually hurt us.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. So going back to the idea of the new manager, am I excited for a new manager? Oh my God, I am. I'm so sick of Verissimo. I was sick of Verissimo the first week we had him. I was sick of him a month in. I really wanted us to get something sooner. It seems the club's put in a lot of thought with this manager, the idea of getting him to build something around the team. So I'll just kind of chalk it up to a write-off, forget what the heck's gone this year, and let's look at what the new manager could do with some new players and some new talent. Because yeah, I don't know, unless I'm wrong, anyone, I don't know if anyone in the chat or anyone here, like any of you guys want to give it Ethan? I highly doubt it, but
no. I'm sorry, Ethan, and you might want to go after just quickly. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I've been more excited and I've been less excited. I think at this moment in time, you know what? He's got a preseason to work with. Transfer window that is not even open yet. Let the guy come in and do his thing. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair. It's like him having a couple of weeks, even when he's been at PSV, to kind of think about what he's going to do. You know, he's at PSV now, but he's going to be definitely thinking about what he's going to be trying to implement over for us. But I think he's got a whole pre-season ahead trying to try some new things, sign some good players. He'll have a mindset of what he wants to achieve, and he would have been speaking to Vermicio throughout the season, asking, well, since he's been appointed, asking for things like that, for information, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm excited for it, to be fair. It's going to be interesting what style of football we play. So
I'll reply to Francisco very quickly. Although I'm excited to see the new manager, and although I'm excited to see how we're going to play, the new formations, I don't think he's going to go for the B team that much, man. I swear I want to be wrong so much. I want to be sat here in 3 months or 4 months and thinking, fuck, guys, like, what the hell? Like, fair enough. I don't think he watched the B team or the youth, and he loved it like everyone did. I mean, I just don't think, like, with the players that I'm hearing that he wants to bring in, not all of them are definitely going to come. I honestly don't believe Neres will come, even though it's almost like, oh, it's guaranteed. I don't think he will come. Sangare, don't think he will come. Gotze, potentially. I believe Gotze might come. But I think that's about it. I think for PSV, that'd be about it. Realistically, I think it's too late now. But for me, Sangare and Renato Sanches at midfield, nothing else would matter. Like, with Renato Sanches box to box and Sangare next to him, you can play freaking Diogo Gonçalves as a left back. He'd be fine. Like, that midfield would be so strong for the Premier Liga. I'm not talking about Champions League. I'm talking just the Liga NOS.
Oh yeah,
that
for Liga
midfield would be
NOS.
so strong that no one will. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do against these guys? They're like physicality, speed, passing, awareness, all sorts. They'd be so strong they wouldn't be able to cope. I think that maybe. I think somebody just Zach. Yeah, he said this about
There's rumors
There's
he's
a
done.
potentiality.
Yeah.
I honestly think that might be a good shout. I think he wants to come back, and he's still got a few, maybe a couple of years on him. I wouldn't be surprised. Him and Gotze. And then Horta from Braga. Those are the 3 ones that I wouldn't be surprised.
Mhm.
I think they're almost, I wouldn't say guaranteed because I hate saying that, but I think at least 2 of them are guaranteed. Now, in terms of Sangare and is it Neres, like the Brazilian guy?
Neves, yeah.
I don't think he's coming, even though a lot of people say, nah, he's guaranteed. Maybe he is, and I hope he is, because he's a great replacement for Rafa if he goes. But I honestly don't think he's going to come. And Renato's going to AC Milan. I know, Fernando. I know, unfortunately.
Renato, that to me is so frustrating.
Right?
I've had people go on, oh, it's the salary. I'm like, to me, I think that's a bit of a lie, because he's going for 17 million. We're willing to sign players for 25, 26 million.
Exactly.
And that's a transfer fee. That's a transfer fee.
Yeah.
We're willing to pay 20 some odd million for the transfer fee and pay guys $3 to $4 million easy. So you're telling me if we don't sign Renato Sanches for 3 seasons, he's 17 mil. So picture it as, let's say, if people say, oh, the max we can probably give him is 4 million because that's the max we give. Oh, so you give the guy 4 million. That's $17 million as the transfer fee. If you're saying, oh, but he's going to make 6 million at AC Milan, give him 6 million at Benfica. If you're going to say on a 3-year contract, you got to think that extra $2 million over 3 years is how much? 6. On 17, that's a $23 million transfer fee.
I'd
for a
also
young
argue,
player with a bigger value down the road. But yeah.
I'd also argue that as soon as you get a yes from the club, so let's say you offer 70 mil, and Lille goes, well, that's the same as AC Milan, so we're not losing anything. So let's accept both offers. They accept Benfica's offer,
you bid
and
off
they accept AC Milan. Now it's up to the player, because and then you speak to Renato and say, look, how much are you making AC Milan? We're Benfica. We might not be able to give you the same money, but let's talk. Then if you tell me that Lille accepted the offer, but Renato wanted more money, then that's fine. That's on the player.
Yes, at least you made the effort.
Exactly.
I would rather the club say, listen,
say,
it's like, oh, it sounds like Renato signed AC Milan, but if you have also tabled a similar offer and they're trying to have a chat with him, never chat with him. And if Renato chooses to go to AC, that's Renato's choice. That's fine.
That's his
respect.
choice. Exactly.
I agree. Make the effort. Renato came out and said when Lille signed him, prior to Lille signing him, he had his agent reach out to Benfica and did not get a call back from Benfica.
Yeah.
If you were not interested in signing Renato, he wanted to play for Benfica, and instead he went to Lille for 20. At the end of the day, He could have played for us and we didn't. Another
What I'm
chance to
saying
reach out and we didn't reach out.
is,
That's
with all the respect to AC Milan, I adore that club. It's always been my Italian club. San Siro is an unbelievable place. I've never been there, but like from the images,
wow.
he might want to play for the Italian. He might want to play in the Italian league. That's fine. He might want to go to AC Milan. That's fine. You know, he might as stupid as it may sound, he may want to wear that historical red and black. That's fine. He's got the right to do so. It's his job. But
Just make the offer.
But be there, turn up, and go, look, if you do want to come back, maybe earn a little bit less, but you're going to be a key player. At AC Milan, he has, let's say, 3 or 4 bad games, he's benched. At Benfica, you have 3 or 4 bad games, no one's going to fucking replace you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, again, like you said, Mario, and like we all agreed, you don't want to come to Benfica, you want to go to AC Milan? I respect that. But you know what? This time I came, I was there, and I was interested in you. That's it. You know, and maybe in 2 years, he's like, hey guys, are you still interested? Like, you know? But no, we show nothing.
Yeah, no, it's a good point also. I agree. On the Götze rumors, I could see it happening. You know, it's not to say that it's not something that can happen, but Sakurai's comment, bad injury record, he's on the tail end of his career. In general, the feeling I'm getting from the chat is people aren't overly interested at the idea of him coming. We need a good attacking midfielder. I think we're lacking. I don't think Joel Mati's the right guy. If you worked well with Schmidt, and my biggest thing is we're bringing on a new manager that at the end of the day, you kind of hope, you know, he's going to build a team, right? He's got to build a team that kind of grows, right? So I don't know, man. I am a little nervous about him. I'm not overly keen on him for the same reasons many people have said. The only reason I would kind of be interested to see what happens is just because, again, it's if he played. I heard a little pop up in the background on my side while I was looking something up.
Yeah.
The one thing I was going to bring, he had a couple injuries throughout the season, like unknown injury. It's like every few weeks there's like a little injury that kind of popped up here and there. But overall, he played quite a bit for PSV. The majority of the time, he was a starter. So if here's a manager that's coming in, he wants to apply a certain type of play, he wants to bring him in. I'm not keen on it, but it is what it is.
I'll take him.
I'm not going to complain. Like it's one of these things where I would not normally want him randomly, but you're talking about a manager that has experience with them, has been using him in his system, and he wants to apply his system. The guy has won a World Cup. He's got some respect to his name. You know, Weigel's a German. You come in and you kind of say, listen, this is the new guy. He's bringing some of his people. Hopefully he can sign a couple more guys that he wants, and he's building the team in his image, and either you're here for it or you're not here for it. And it could help having someone with a bit of leadership. I don't know how he is in the locker room, man. I just don't know. We had that issue in the locker room. We'll see.
My only issue when we talk about signings and stuff is we're pretty sure that Grimaldo's going. At least I am. For 20 million or even if we get
that's one I want to touch on, because someone made the comment in the chat, and I've seen those rumors of Trincão one. I was going to bring that one up next after Goats, but that one is an interesting one. Trincão's
only issue
he's not lived up to the hype at Barca, but go on, buddy, go.
No, my only issue is that I think if I look at the starting 11 today, there's 2 players that I'm pretty sure will go, and more than Darwin, I'm convinced that Grimaldo is gone. I'm pretty sure Darwin's gone too, but I think more than Darwin, I'm pretty sure Grimaldo's gone, and no one's thinking about left back. No one. We
got to bring one in. We got to bring one.
Again, you guys know I believe a lot in the youth and a lot in the B team and stuff. But one thing I'd say, it's always a risk. More than an attacker, more than a midfielder, a defender is always way more of a risk. Because if it doesn't slot in, then you're fucked because you don't have a left back. You know?
Yeah, and we experimented with it last weekend. Again, I know we missed a few matches against Maritimo with Santa Cruz. And maybe we'll segue a little bit into the youth side. Santa Cruz looks like a young, promising guy, but as exciting as he's looked on the youth side, as he's looked for Benfica's kind of B team, that kind of stuff. It's against Marítimo. He didn't impress, man. I gotta say, he did not impress, and I think it would have been it would have been very ugly against Fourth if he was the guy starting. We got to be careful with our expectations. We kind of see the situation here where all of a sudden we'll have some of these young kids do really good. They get exciting for us on the youth side, and then we bring them up and they're a complete disappointment, and we burn these kids. And I think sometimes these kids need a little bit more time. So I'll kind of quickly segue. We won the Youth Champions League. We haven't had a chance to chat about that. Absolutely amazing accomplishment. I got to see the match. I loved it. I was so excited to see these kids do well. There's a bright future, but we also got to be careful that you don't just grab these kids, throw them to 11, throw them in the Champions League, and all of a sudden you destroy their momentum, their development, and things of the sort. And you can't just rely only on them. I think it's nice to have the way I always view this. You got this youth team that just won the Champions League on the youth side. You need to have a core starting 11 with core starting players that don't involve any of these kids. What you need is these kids, the ones that show a lot of talent, on the bench, to come in as a substitution, to come in for Taça Liga, Taça Portugal, and slowly integrate them to the main team. And if they really kick butt, their job is to displace a starting 11 quality player.
See? Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, that's pretty much it.
No, very quickly. To reply to Benfica fan, Ristic. I've never heard of the guy. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Farmers League, French League, don't watch it. I mean, very rarely. When it's on TV and I'm like, Big Brother is not on. But
when he started, yeah.
But and then what's his name? Zach came in with Guerreiro. I have not heard of any rumors, but that would be the signing. That would be a signing because he's been at Dortmund for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
And he must be he must be what? Is he 28 now? More maybe. Let me just search. He's getting on. So that would be a signing and a half. That would be, he's 28. Fucking hell. Knowledge.
Look at you. Who'd have thought?
But yeah, he's 28. So realistically, if he doesn't move now, next year he's worth a lot less. So I would love that. I would love, again, we're just talking about. We're not we're just talking. That would be amazing. That would be unbelievable.
With Grimaldo, though, it's like you can't really blame him for leaving because he's 26 now. Is obviously he was at Barca as a youth player, so you can't. I don't blame him for leaving. And his dream, his last shot.
Yeah, his dream was always to play for Barcelona, and it seems like Barcelona's in a rebuild, and there's a position for Grimaldo to play. And he probably, when he was a young guy, you'd see Xavi and stuff. I'm never gonna shit on a guy for doing it. He's been with us for a very long time, longer than any of us thought he'd be, because for a while there was rumors about him going to other clubs, but because he kept getting his ass injured, we got to keep him. That is, to be honest, for a while his value was quite high, and his injuries kept him at bay, and now he's gone pretty well for a bit, and so.
To agree with Zach again, all these players that won the Youth Champions League, if you want to call it that way, they have market, right? Not everybody's watching. No one's blind here. So you either do one thing. You either put them on a first team or give them because the difference here is that you got a preseason where you have to experiment, because you had the 11 that couldn't beat anybody, like Boris said, not even for Malicão, but then you had the youth side that won the Champions League. So you need to really experiment. You need to fucking go out there and go, this is the time to experiment.
In the preseason, you got to give these kids.
You have to. I'd rather lose every game 10-0 as long as we fucking go out and experiment everyone, every formation, every player, every option. Because if they don't play, right, what you're looking at basically, if these youth players don't play this season, they're obviously going to play in their leagues. They will go. They will start going slowly. They'll go to Wolverhampton. They'll go to Newcastle because they got a shit ton of money. They'll start buying players. They'll start going. And once they go, as we can see, they won't come back. Like, is Jota coming back? Again, I don't mind if he stays there. I think it's one of those.
The newest word from the last couple of days is that it seems that they're going to trigger the 7.5. Benfica's not going to make a higher offer.
Mario, if I'm honest, I don't mind it. I think he works in Celtic. I think he works there. I don't think he works in Lisbon.
I'm just going to say this much. I agree with you. He works very well in Celtic. He is a starting player for Celtic. He's a superstar at Celtic.
Yeah.
I part of me just really dislikes the fact that we are letting a guy like Jota go that is so young, full of promise, that maybe does not fit Benfica for 7.5. Just like Arugio and all these other guys we got, right? All these great kids that show potential, they could do well, and maybe they don't fit. Maybe we do preseason, these kids don't have a spot, and we loan them out. For the love of God, please do not loan out any of these kids with these like 6 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9 million buyouts. These kids have such a high upside potential.
Loan them with no buyouts.
Or slap 50 million on, or slap something big on the kid.
Like
just okay, fine. You want to be stupid and buy him, fine. No, this is let the kid loan out, let him play, and it's just one of these things where, like I appreciate what Jota's done at Celtic. If the buyout was a bit higher, like we could have had a $20 million buyout, and Celtic come to us and say, "Listen, we're not paying you 20. We'll give you 15. We'll give you 12. We'll give you 13. 7.5. What a steal, man!
Yeah,
Benfica's gonna sign guys for 7 million. That are like Liga NOS quality guys that are not really starters. Like we'll pay 7-10 million for guys that, you know what I mean? Like to me, it's like, so don't be on the other hand selling guys at that level.
I just think after winning the youth league, you can't sleep on these guys.
No, you can't.
You can't sleep on these guys, man. Please, like players like Enrique, they have to be at the very minimum a guaranteed sub next year, because he's, at the very, that's like the bare minimum, I forgot his name on the left. The guy that passed the ball, man. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but I can guarantee you no one at Benfica can pass the ball like that. Enrique Araújo dribbled around the keeper. Great goal. But the pass was pinpointed. It was almost like, you know what? You have to screw up not to score this goal. And realistically, he made it a lot harder for himself because he tried to go around the keeper. But what's his name? I forgot his name now. Moreira? Something like that. I can't remember now. Man, what a bloody good pass, man. And he's so good. He's so good. Although, sometimes he does try the one-on-one too much, loses the ball. But he's a kid. He's got to do that. He just needs a mentor. He needs somebody to go, all right, listen. If you guys watch Goal, right? With Santiago Muniz, when it's like, pass. And then he tells him, and next game he actually passes the ball, because that's what you do in training ground. So honestly, I'd be happy if we just play with the youth fucking guys. Like, sack all of them. Sell Oli, sell Vertonghen, sell Otamendi, and then we just play with the youth league. Fuck it. All right, cool. March, we're like, get relegated. Fuck. Okay.
No. I think, again, going back to what I was saying.
Diego Moreira. Yeah. Yes, Diego Moreira. That's the guy. Sorry.
Yeah, but my thing again is I still want us to have a good quality starting 11 outside of the kids. I think the kids can be in the starting 11, but I want it to be that they're there because they beat out a guy that's quality. That's a competition, right? So one example of a youth guy that was an amazing guy that I loved when we had him. Remember Rodrigo at Benfica? So if I go to Rodrigo at the time at Benfica, youth kid, lots of potential. We had Cardozo and Lima playing as strikers at Benfica. We had legit quality up front, and we had a kid, Rodrigo, saying, look at me, give me minutes. We got Lima, we got Cardozo, but Rodrigo worked his butt off in training, came out as a substitute, came in for Taça Liga, came in Taça Portugal, and then made it to the 11. And my God, was he a good kid, man. You were happy when that kid was playing. The thing I hate is when we have a young kid and we go, here's like Darwin I like Darwin today. I want to retain Darwin. I hope we keep Darwin. You know what I hated? I hated last year, beginning of last year, most of last year, us playing Darwin when Darwin was yet finding his flow. I don't want this to be the B team. This is the main team. Find your flow. If you're not ready, stay on the B team. If you're ready, be on the bench. Taça Portugal, Taça Liga. If you can come in and kick out a good quality player and take his work spot, perfect. We need that competition. We need that kind of feistiness. You need that fight. You had Nelson Oliveira when Rodrigo was signed, and they're both good youth guys that we're kind of used to listening to. But they're two good youth players fighting for a position with two good starters. Competition breeds a bit more fight. I think we have that at the B team. We have that competition. The amount of quality youth we have causes the B team players who are currently playing fight harder, because if they don't fight hard enough, there's another guy on the bench that wants to come on and take your spot. That's why we won the youth Champions League. That's why we did what we did, right? So,
This always makes me smile, man.
Yeah.
Because I forget. I'm gonna be honest. I forget. Verissimo, man.
I can't wait till he comes back, man. That guy's gonna be amazing.
Always makes me smile, man. It's almost like, I hope he doesn't disappoint, man. But it's almost like, when you're waiting for your team to sign someone, and then you completely forget about Verissimo, and then go, oh, but we got Verissimo. Like, oh shit, yes, we got Verissimo. And I can't wait, man.
We don't need a center back signing. One quick shout out here. I would love. I've never been to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I would love to go to a Flamengo game. It'd be such a cool experience, man.
You can wear red; they wouldn't know the difference.
Oh, I love it. I like red and black also. I love when Benfica's got the red and black kits going on. It's such a nice color combo.
I mean, come on,
you look everywhere. Look, what's that? There.
Even Ethan's got it going on.
Yeah, he's got it. I still to get more on the positive. I'm very excited about Schmidt. I can't wait. I'm going to look at next week's game. It's the final match of the season.
Who we got?
Pacos de Ferreira.
Oh, the Pacos de Ferreira.
We got to go and get some wardrobes. We got to get some wardrobes. Just so you know, Ethan, they're known as the furniture capital. The wardrobe capital.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And for the beavers, the beavers. They got big beavers. I never got the mascot.
I am very sad, Francisco. I love Academica. Yeah.
About the going down further, eh? That's actually quite surprising. The neat thing, actually, I was looking. It's so it looks like Rio Ave's locked it in. So I like Rio Ave coming back. Rio Ave to me feels.
I love Rio Ave coming back. It's what,
they're a tough team.
For Rio Ave, man.
They're a tough team, man. Tough team away every year. I find. I was shocked when they got relegated.
Xavi really beat Milan. Milan. Yeah.
Isn't it Casa Pisa as well?
Yeah, that one. They have not been in the first division. Oh my god, it's been a long time since these guys have been.
I'm not going to comment on Casapia, man. I'm going to let it fly.
You're going to talk about people touching things, eh?
No, I'm going to let it fly.
Don't go into the touching.
I'm going to let it fly.
Don't do that. It's a different time nowadays.
I'm going to go beep beep and go.
But you know what? It's actually kind of what I love about them, because I actually stopped by their grounds before when I was in Portugal a few years back. Where they're located, obviously. Luís Gito, I think Ethan might know. I don't know if you know, but they're in Lisboa. And one thing the more to me, for support, get on the autocar, come to Lisboa. The more teams in Lisbon, the more teams in Algarve, the more travel they do, because mostly it's teams in the north. Because the other potential team is Chaves. Now, situation right now is Rio Ave's locked it in. Casa Pia is second. Chaves hasn't played their match yet. I think they play tomorrow. So if Chaves wins, they're back in second. But the third place does the playoff against the third place in our Liga. I really hope Casa Pia make it. I really hope they make it. I'm actually rooting for them because I want another team in Lisboa to kind of help with. I think, but the right now it looks like it's this crazy battle. On a side note, for our main league, there's for relegation. It looks like BSAD is fully done. They are relegated unless they have a miracle where they win their final match, and Moreirense and Tondela lose their match, and then BSAD can do the playoff and somehow stay up.
And there's a rainbow with a few birds.
But I just want to tell a quick story on BSAD. For the last 4 weeks, every time my dad was over today, we watched the Porto match together. Anytime over at my old man's place, we talk about the Liga a lot, and he'll always be like, "Oh, and Belenenses, they're still at the bottom." He's so excited. I've never seen this man so excited to see a team relegated in his entire life. He normally does not get that excited to see a team. And he's been just over the moon for over a month now. If I couldn't see money, I'm like, my God, you fucking hate him. You remember what they did? We played the game, then they complained, and they wanted to replay it, and they mentioned it. No, bang fate. That's what you get. He's been just on this thing ever since the whole COVID fiasco with Belenenses. I think it's hilarious. They're not the real Belenenses to begin with. I honestly think that team's going to fold if it goes down to second division because it has nothing to hold on to. But it'll either be.
I mean, they have Perseus Belém. I mean, they're quite nice.
No, but they're not even the proper Precise Belém. They're not even welcome there. It's the proper Belenenses that gets the Precise Belém.
Imagine if they overtake. That'd be quite funny.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Aren't,
Started
aren't
from the
they?
bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah.
Aren't the proper team like in the third division? And I'm
I-
pretty sure if they get promoted and B-side get relegated, they'll be in the same league next year.
Yeah. Be sad against be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's kind of now. I really think they're going to fold. I think they're going to fold. I don't think they're going to exist in the second
No, they
division.
actually are as well. They're
Yeah,
actually top of the league.
Oh,
Like,
Belenenses?
actually-
yeah,
in
the
the
proper
third,
one.
in the third league, in the third, yeah. No,
So
I mean,
they
yeah,
could actually meet next year
it's the club football, right? The Belenenses.
because it's quite bitter between the two of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is terrible. It's a terrible story.
It's like an Indian pale ale, man.
I'll say this
Mm.
much. I'll say this much. It's Belenenses' fault, the situation they're in.
Mm.
Yeah.
They borrowed money, they didn't have the ability to repay, and they pretty much were tapped out financially. And so then they went to private investors and said, listen, we'll give you the entire ownership of the main team if you give us a bit more money, and you get to own it if we don't pay you. Well, no capacity to pay, took the money, didn't pay, and say, okay, give us the money, give us the team. And then they cried foul. So that's board of directors and their president, they're idiots. They sunk their own club.
I remember I went there. This is like way before COVID, like the first time I went to Lisbon. And I didn't really understand the split between the two. And I
Yeah.
remember I turned up there and then I remember seeing B-sides on the TV and I was going, they don't look the same. And like we spoke to a guy who was there, one of the groundsmen. I went onto the pitch and everything at the original like Belenenses ground.
Yeah.
Spoke to the guy there and he could speak English and he explained what happened and stuff. And I was there like, I've actually never heard of that before in my life, and it's pretty mad if you proper think about it. So
No, it's
I've
pretty-
always had a soft spot for him now.
And it's a very cool story. I've been to the grounds myself, man. I think it's beautiful. I love the horseshoe setup with the open thing. You can see the bridge. You
yeah.
can see the kind of this the just it's just tiny bit higher. You can see that like that nice layout of the land and the buildings, everything. It's just a beautiful area. Yeah, man. Oh,
They
random
film-
question.
They film movies there as well.
Oh,
Because
for sure.
when I went there, they were actually filming this. I think it was Danish film. And
Yeah.
I remember we walked across the set and we was there like, what on earth is actually going on? And then we just asked the groundsman and went, oh, they're filming a film and it's a Danish film. Never seen it being publicised, but there was loads of like zombies everywhere. It's pretty funny.
Really, there's a zombie clip. Oh, I gotta look this up. Villainous
Yeah.
zombies. It's like the zombie club that's in the first division. You know what I mean? It's very.
But no, seriously, that's a true story. I've got pictures of it on my phone and everything. It's hilarious.
I gotta look that up. Great question here. I think we've chatted this way back when, but it's been a while. You know, about Major Bifikishta. I'll keep it short and sweet. My old man was a Bifikishta. I was born a Bifikishta. It was between that or sporting. Well, I'm like sporting, but my dad's very controlling, and no chance how that ever happened. And yeah, man, I love the club. Loved it ever since. I just kind of born and raised. Luigi a little bit different. Ethan a little bit different. You guys chime in.
I've got to ruffle some feathers. Hey.
Hey, yours a good one. I think yours is a good one, man.
So to begin with, I was a Porto fan.
Sorry, I never knew that.
my
That is grim,
man.
man. I never knew
I-
that. Oh
I
my
used,
god.
I used to piss off a lot of people in my family because they'd say, "What team you support?" I'm like, "Porto."
But that's
But
funny.
then,
I
I was very little. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
very
then
slow.
one day-
He was also on the spectrum when he was little. Just don't be mean to the guy.
this is rather cool, man. And then I went to the Stade de Luz, the actual Stade de Luz, right? The 120,000 with my uncle, and I fell in love with football. And I always like to say this. I know it's like very, very cheesy, but Benfica chose me. I didn't choose Benfica.
So quick question: How old would have you been when that happened? Like, what would have been your age?
When I went to the stadium,
Yeah,
What year?
6.
or you would have been 6 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you, man, you're under 10. You can still figure it out. You're still figuring out life.
Yeah,
man.
it was like
Yeah.
9. I'm pretty sure I was 6, or even younger. I think. I know I changed clubs around that. I had a Porto ball. I had a Porto ball, a Porto top that people bought me. And one day, my grandfather was just like doing like this like burn thing, and I just like, can you burn this and burn that? So, and I was like, why? I was like, I'm a Benfica fan. And then that was it. And then like it just grew. And today, obviously, like fucking hell, like So yeah, man. So I'm actually happy that it happened that way. I got to see the shit side of it, and I understood why it was so shit. So when I talk about referees and stuff, I know what I'm talking about because I was once on that side.
Now again, age difference makes a difference. I want to give a quick shout out to Boris there. Part of mine also. My dad's from Angola. When you talk about Benfica, you talk about him being in Angola when he was a little kid. The story of Eusebio and what Eusebio meant to Soja in Angola, Mozambique, and then how a guy from Mozambique come to Portugal, and be the greatest man, right? And my dad came during the war and things of sort when he was younger, and the idea that you can come from the far reaches of the world and make it and be idolized even though you weren't born in the continent, in the main land, I guess you could say. And he idolizes Eusebio, and he told me these stories of Eusebius and these parallel, for him, what used to motivate him as kind of a hero for him. And it's Eusebio for us. We weren't none of us gonna lie. None of us were kids watching Eusebio win, the cup, right? But the reality is that you kind of live those stories, and that kind of pushed me that way. How about you, Ethan, man? I know you brought it up before. As you tell your story, I finally found my photos. I'll kind of share some photos as you talk here.
Yeah, for me, it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, I've got no sort of Portuguese heritage. I'm not from there. None of my family are from there, so it's quite rare for a guy who's got no sort of links to Portugal, Benfica, to actually support him. But I went to the Algarve on holiday one day. It was Albufeira. I remember watching them on the TV. I saw them once, and then I saw them again. I loved watching them, and then got a shirt from a little store. And then what was it? I went to Lisbon in sort of January time that year, and I was watching them throughout the year. And I went there, and I just fell in love with everything. So ever since then, I've been kind of addicted to Benfica from that day. So, and of course, it's real nice because it's a different style of football, and it's just real good. So yeah, I've been here. What you're showing on the screen now.
Yeah,
it's in a way, Benfica chose you as well because you could have watched any match that day. You could have watched like from home against whatever, So in a way, Benfica, I like to believe Benfica chooses all of us. You know what I mean? Like
it was real good. And then on that day as well, I met Shell.
Yeah, I got you. Nice.
I met him. I think I showed you guys that picture once.
Yeah.
I met him in the larger store.
Yeah.
However you say it, large.
Oh, you're getting better and better with the large. The large, you're getting there.
But yeah, no, it was real.
Real good.
Yeah, it was real good, and of course, obviously, like my Prem side where I'm from, Southampton, but it's like I love them as equally as much as Benfica. You know what I mean? So I've been Southampton fan since like the day I was born, but Benfica equally as much. So.
Sheo, I got to see him on when we won the Tetra, and then went to the Praça in Lisboa, right?
Camera, right?
Yeah. It's like the next day when they do it at City Hall, right?
Yeah.
And then they do the balcony.
I've been lucky enough to be there, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I was like right close, and they're getting all revved up and stuff. And I remember like he pops up in the corner of the balcony, and the group of us in the one section there just started like chanting his name hard. Like we all got in unison. And he looks over, and the smile on his face, and he looks down. It's just a small lot of us in our one area doing it. I was right by the thing. And he looks, and he's like, hey, and he points and he waves. I'm like, hey, a little back and forth.
He's got a very contagious smile as well, man.
He's got a huge smile. But part of what's special about this club, and I know every club will go about their legends and things of the sort, but it is a club for the fans to see a depth. That's what it's supposed to be. And the players themselves are a depth, especially once they retire, You look at Felix today in the stands. That was so nice to see him in the stands today. Watching the match. He's a Benfica. Same with Bernardo Silva. Same with Jota. Jota, if he continues his career at Celtic, this decision to him staying at Celtic likely might have been made for the last while. But yeah, he still went to the Liverpool match to watch Benfica because he's Benfica. There's it's a different connection with the club, which I think is special. And it's not just Portuguese players, it's the foreign players. They see Di Maria talk about it, but you even see guys that are now retired, like Enzo Perez. Sometimes when you see the odd interview with them or Aymar, it's like they might have had not that much time with us, but they go, it was a very special time.
Dude, you got Saviola wrote a book right?
Yeah.
And Saviola is Argentinian, man. And if there's a big stage in Argentinian football, like, River Plate and Boca Juniors is a huge game, man. And I don't know word by word. By the way, Mario, you might want to check WhatsApp real quick. But like, Boca Juniors is a huge thing, huge. And he writes in his book, like, in one of the clubs that marked him as much, like, Benfica marked him like no other club. And you think, like, why would he lie? It's his book. He can write whatever he wants to write. And that meant a lot. Like, I can speak for myself. Like, reading that, I was like, Saviola?
Oh, you spot that.
He's like, I'm going to show my picture? I'm out.
I sent it to our little Twitter DM just to kind of be able to share.
I thought I'd say, maybe wait for him to get back. Maybe wait for him to get back.
I don't. Yeah, go finish up your point. I'll wait for him to get back.
No, my point is, like, you have players like the point was made. Like, we have players that, like, I'm not one of those guys that believes that everyone knows Benfica. Maybe not all of us, not everyone knows Benfica, but once they get here, they take it with them. You got Di Maria, like, most times on Twitter saying, "Vamos, carrega Benfica, Saviola." I don't see him much on Twitter, but he has, like, other ways of reaching out. João Felix, even with the youth, when his brother won it, like, it means something to them. And to be honest with you, I don't see that much with other clubs in Portugal. I'm not going to mention names. I don't see that much, man.
See it at that level, man. You just don't see it.
You see a few players in 1-on-2 and stuff, but not as much.
And also, like, it isn't like Salvio only played at Benfica in Europe. Like, sometimes you can kind of say, "Oh, but that was his only year." He played for Atletico Madrid. He played at Atletico Madrid when they won and he won the Salvio.
Oh, Salvio. Sorry.
Salvio. He played at Atletico Madrid. He won the Europa League with Atletico Madrid. He was at a time Atletico Madrid were doing some interesting things. Like, that's a pretty damn good thing to do. But yet, when you see him online, he was talking more about Benfica because it's something a bit more special.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Atletico.
Sure.
No disrespect to Atletico.
And the thing is, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure when he was running over his wife, like, he was going Benfica. I'm pretty sure. There we go.
There we go. There's a photo Ethan sent.
Yes, Ethan with the glasses.
Nah, but no, that was a weird kind of moment.
Hey, hold on a minute. I'm so sorry. I'm carry on. I'll go in after.
All right, yeah. But when I met him, I went into the large. Is that how you say it? Larger. Getting better. Larger. I went in there and he straight away was at the entrance. He was there like, oh, what's your name? And I was there like, Ethan. And he was there like, oh, where are you from? And I'm from Gloucester, but I say Bristol because no one knows where Gloucester is. I said Bristol. He went, oh yeah, cool. Obviously, I was kind of a new into the club. It was kind of the season before this. So I didn't really have any idea who he was. And then I was kind of just wondering about all this, that and the other. And then he came over and spoke to me again. And then people were asking for pictures for him. And then he like explained who he was. He went, oh, I played like 600 times for Benfica and all this, that and the other. And I was there like I was kind of shocked. So I got this picture with him. And then as soon when he went, I like Googled him. And I was like, I just met a legend without even realising it. Like, you know what I mean? But he was pretty down with it. Obviously, he could understand that I was English and I was kind of new to Benfica. And he was so surprised that I was like English, had no sort of links with Portugal or Benfica. And I was a Benfica fan and he loved it. He was there like asking if I played football and all this, that and the other. It was well cool.
All right, Luis, keep the phone off. Your chair, it's your chair. It is your chair.
I tried to put it in a simple position.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Wait. How do I switch it? 1 second. 1 second. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. There's a chair.
There's a chair.
There's a chair. And there's a chair.
Fair enough.
There we
just
go.
Imagine if that's
the little things,
well.
man. I swear to God, the little things.
Just imagine if it's the exact same one. The scenes.
Oh, this is my favorite with the English one. They say Laji. Lage.
Oh yeah, don't
Lage.
Just lag. It's just lag.
Lag.
Lag. That's why he lost his job. He started lagging in his performance.
That's it.
Lage. And there's a few. You know, it's a funny one I find for English people. I'm gonna test this out right now, Ethan. what English Canadians, purebred Canadians I talk to, and there's a lot of Portuguese locally. When they meet a certain individual, they struggle with that individual, and that individual's named João. We got Joãos. Joãos are everywhere. I find for some reason, like Ethan, Joao. I just said it.
Do you want me to say it?
Say it.
Zhao.
Yeah. No, you did well. I am not. It's very rare I find a pure English-speaking individual that doesn't speak Spanish or Portuguese or Italian or Latin, that when they see the name João, a lot of times when they first read it, like I had a buddy of mine, he was calling someone, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "It has one of your people's last names." So I look at him, what the f are you talking about? He looks at it. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How do you say that first name?" I'm like, "You say it." He's like, "Wow." Wow!
Oh, no, that was so me.
I was like
was
in
so me.
tears. I was in tears laughing. But I keep like that's the name I find it, the Portuguese name that I find these people struggle the most with. Man. I just want that's my
Like, don't get me wrong. I can't speak like hardly any Portuguese, but I've learned like little names and like little sayings, like, you know what I mean. So, and I do actually want to learn it like fluently, so I can understand what everyone says in the chat when it's all Portuguese, and I'm just sat here going, "What on earth is that trying to say?" But you know what I mean. It's just
It's funny.
yeah.
Gomes is another one. Gomez.
Gomez.
I
I would say Gomez.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
That's the guy who's hilarious.
I
That's
watch
a funny one.
YouTuber, Danny Aarons, I think it is. He's a kid, but he's funny, right? And like every name, like you got Ruben Neves, you've got Ruben
Neves.
Diaz. He's like Ruben Neves, Ruben Neves, Ruben Diaz. Like it's so weird because he has to really focus. He's like Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, because like
so-
you just say it how you see it. It's like I would just say
Yeah,
like, Neves.
you're enunciating the letters that you how you normally do.
it's Neves.
The one I saw, it was someone
Ruben
sent.
Neves.
Someone sent this.
I love how it's Ruben Neves.
Someone sent this a while back to me. It was some guy, I guess, does some show. Some kid does something online, and he's like, "Yeah, just like Ronaldo, Sui." Or like you try, what's his name?
Ronaldo, Suey.
Sui. That's it. Sui. And it's like,
Yeah,
what?
Sui.
What? Sui. I was like,
he's
Speech,
like
yeah.
Twitch name, whatever. Is
Yeah.
yeah.
it was cute. It was funny. I was gonna say it's cute. It's funny. It made me laugh, man.
Sui.
But I've seen it now pick up online where people are now like saying that instead. Which
Yeah.
Man, what pisses me off so much is like even at work and stuff, like going Suey and Siwi and stuff, mate. It's just simple scene.
see,
It's just a simple scene, but because he was screaming, he goes scene. That's it. There's no you. There's no.
I think it's because he like and it elongates it, and people write it out as like
It's it's SUIII or whatever.
Oh yeah, but like realistically, it's SI.
Sui. Because he's like.
Suey.
I think it's hilarious. That stuff cracks me up. Boris, thanks for joining.
No, we'll be back after Capital do Móvel. We need to wrap up. We'll have a wrap up.
We'll do a proper wrap-up show at
We'll
some
try
point.
and get all six of us.
I apologize. I've tried to do a few shows. It's been a little chaotic on the home front with schedules, and then for everyone else's schedules, Joey's been out
Where the
on
fuck is Tino?
Ambition. Tino, he was hanging out there, but he bailed partway
Yeah.
through. He was there. Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay, he was there. He was there at the beginning when me and you were
No,
talking.
because I was trying to get the chair like lined up
perfect.
in the same in his position.
And I know Mello's been out in his adventures out west somewhere. But yeah, man, next time we're gonna order Chinese food with Sui.
Silly.
Chop Sui. Soul
Chop
food.
suey.
Ronaldo, that's what Ronaldo. Every time he says that, it's like he wants chop suey. That's all he's in the mood for. He's hungry. He's like, it's after a match. He scores a goal. Get some of that chop suey.
Chop suey.
That man, you know what he's been doing all this time? Is prepping to play in the Chinese league. So that way, he's going to be sponsored by like Takeout Ming's Chinese Emporium on Shanghai 58th Street. And anytime he goes see, he's like, chop suey, couple six.
You know, I've got to say to the chat, guys.
Oh my god,
For next season, we might have a new logo.
I love that one.
We might have a new banner. We might even have merch. But one
Needs a-
thing
Needs a
that
new
won't
Instagram
change.
account. That's what we need. Sorry.
No. Or might even have a new Instagram account. We might have a lot of new things, right? Ethan might get his makeup done at some point. You know, I might cut my hair. But one thing we won't change is this pod is meant to be 1 hour long, right? After 1 hour, we just chat shit. Like,
it always is not the rails.
go
It's always
on.
not.
That's the
Yeah.
go on. And the thing is, what the chat doesn't know, and Ethan knows a little bit, is me, Melu, Mario, and sometimes even Dylan, right? Dylan. We used to end the pod and then stay here for another few hours, right?
We see
I've
religious.
done that a few times.
But
Yeah.
early on when we did the show, we used to be a little religious on the. Oh, it's 45 minutes. Okay, we got to wrap up. Hang up. But then we just hang out for like 2 hours.
Dude, I'll never forget, and I still talk about this every now and then. Me, Melu, and Mario I was still at my old place, and I remember we chatting and drinking and chatting, and he got to a point. Melu was like, "Yo, Lewis, I don't know how to do these accents. I'm not gonna try. Yo, Lewis, is that the sun?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, shit, yeah, it is." And I'm grabbing my camera.
It was like 7 a.m. your time or
The
something. We were
sunrise.
up late. We were up so late for that one.
I was showing him the sunrise. My man was showing me the sunset. That was one of the most beautiful things I've seen. Because you can literally see your sun going and mine coming up. Madness. Mel, if you're watching, I love you, man. I love all of you anyway.
Yeah. You know what? One last bit. The funniest thing I've always cracked me up was Portuguese. We have what they call dollar stores here. That's like the cheap shit store. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're Poundland. We have Poundland.
yeah. In Portugal.
Don't start foot in there. Do not go in there.
No, again, thanks for a pound.
I know what Mario gonna say. Gonna say.
But Loja Chinesa, that shit cracks me up. That shit, when I first showed up to, like, as I got older, I went to Portugal, I'm like, this is hilarious. This shit would never fly in Canada. Like, but I get it. Poundland, is that like a legit, like, everything for a pound? Or
I
is
haven't been
that
there in so long, bro.
or is that a Rippers? Like, I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know.
I don't know.
In Reading, we used to have two. We used to have Poundland and 99p store.
They're like
Zach,
there's so many like different franchises,
you what,
I suppose you could say, but that don't go in those ones, all right?
Listen,
like,
I'm telling you one
if you're
thing, though, man.
struggling-
99p store was good because you're saving a penny. Like,
Yeah, literally. But if you was like ever going on like a long trip somewhere or anything like that, and you just needed something cheap, or it was like, what is it, Secret Santa? Like Secret Santa. That's you raided that because everything was cheap, but you'll never step foot in there again until the next following year when you do Secret Santa again.
Yeah, Secret Santa. Hey, Mario, listen, no lie. Francisco's got the title, bro. Put that as a title. We are gonna get the views, bro. We are gonna rack up. Disgraced exporter supporter reveals this about. No, don't put about the podcast. Just say disgraced exporter supporter reveals this. Right? Just say that, right? And then there's not clickbait. Man, we are getting the views, bro. Oh my god, Francisco, my man knows you too. Disgraced exporter supporter.
It's good. You know what? I'm gonna do it. How about this?
Don't put about the podcast. Just put disgraced exporter supporter reveals
give me
this, and then put in brackets. Not clickbait. My goodness, biggest clickbait ever.
So right now the vote is, either that or Welcome to Poundland. But Poundland, it sounds like adult content.
No, but then that's just cheap. Don't do this.
Okay, it's not letting me do it live, but I will. I'm gonna edit. As soon as the show's done, I'll edit the timeline. You guys come back in an hour or two. You'll see a change.
Exporter supporter reveals this.
So the
mate.
last bit, what's happened with the show, and Zach made a comment. Where is this secret club at? What ended up happening is we stopped ending this
board head.
We stopped ending the show at like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and we just keep running.
Your camera needs to go down a bit, man.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I looked at the other screen. I was clicking the tabs at the top,
Hey Zach,
And
Legend says you can fry an egg on that board head.
Legend says right here, the shine.
You can literally go.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Ah.
That's it. Me and Tino, we gotta have the same look. You know what you gotta do? You gotta get a knitted beard for Tino, like a little beard on Tino, and he can replace me when I'm not available.
acting. Look at him, he's happy. He's like,
Hey.
yeah, Tino.
Oh man, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Inflation, £2 land now. Fucking inflation's crazy, man. Oh my god, inflation. I do finance for a living. Trust me, inflation is crazy.
Yeah, if you ever need advice, don't ask Murray.
Don't ask me. That's not what I'm here for.
He's busy enough.
Fair enough. All right. So
in 1 hour, guys. You want to go at 1 hour. When 1 hour hits, go.
Eckable. So anyways, we'll come up with new fun stuff. You guys, thank you so much for tuning on. Really
We've
appreciate
got to
it.
man of the match and that.
Oh fuck! All right, here we go.
Sorry.
All right. You know what? Yeah. Thanks, Ethan. That's why we got you here to keep this as the senile citizen of the show. I can forget things, so I need people to pull me in and kind of be like, hey, could I? Fuck, man. We used to do the whole man of the match and all this stuff
in 45 minutes.
In less than 45 minutes. I tell you, there was a point where we were like, this is early days, very early days. Where we're like, we gotta keep this for 30 minutes. People ain't got time for anything over 30 minutes. Then we just couldn't do it, so we did 45 minutes. Then the wheels fell off.
That was an hour and a half.
Now it's like, sweet mother of God, it just does not end. So yeah, let's go. Oh, Ishkash, Bumbleclot. For some reason I thought you were gonna come out with a Rastafarian hat.
I thought you said Bumbleclat.
I did because for some reason I envisioned you coming out with a big Rastafarian hat on. I thought that's what you stepped out to get, but
no, I went to have a wee.
Oh, we weren't on the same wavelength. I'm like, he's getting that Rastafarian hat. It's the man of the match. It perfectly makes sense for this point.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Roblox.
Yeah, inflation is so bad you ain't getting shitty Steven.
We got Marcel instead.
Yeah, inflation's getting so bad that we're getting robbed 3 times in the match instead of once. Oh my god.
Ethan was keen. Come on, mate.
Okay, all right, let's go. Ethan, you start off then.
He's got his notes, mate.
No, I've got no notes, man. I've got no notes. Yeah, man of the match. You know what? I think someone said it earlier. It was like Gilberto's got 100% heart but no skill whatsoever. And I think in this season, I don't think he's been very influential for us like in previous times. But I think this year he's without doubt, whether we're losing, drawing, winning, or if we're in a bad spell, I think he's the only one who can actually say you know what, I put 100% in that game. You know what I mean? And that's just not this game. That's all the games. And yeah, he's not the best technically gifted, but sometimes it is very, very, very useful to have that just workhorse in that defensive line just to get things rolling. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my man of the match.
You just gotta get the tip, just the tip, 2 centimeters in. Would you say the shitty's the match? Speaking of getting the tip in.
You know what, we spoke about you two spoke about the refs and stuff and VAR. It's I didn't really get involved with it because I don't, as much as it is annoying, but refs are refs and VAR is VAR at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I kind of just didn't get involved with that. But for me, I don't know. I don't want to be harsh. We've had a rubbish year. I don't want to slate anyone else. But
fuck it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do VAR. It does
really good. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
We did it.
There we go.
An hour, 24 minutes.
But no, you know what I mean. The refs aren't the great. There's this, there's that. VAR's looking at 2 centimeters offside and all this, but today it's 2 centimeters. If no one would have said anything, if they would have even realised it afterwards and then gone, oh, he's actually offside, no one would have realised. You know what I mean? Not one person. It's none of us realised watching it on TV. None of the players realised it. None of the fans realised it. They should just let it slide and just let us have a bit of enjoyment from this season. But no, no, you can't, that's not possible. And, they chalked it off and then they scored a last minute winner. And, when you can just tell something's going to happen. As soon when we had that corner, I thought we were going to score, just felt something. And then they hit us on the counter. And then I'm just there like, oh no. And as soon when they hit us on the counter, I think it was Otavio who got the ball on the right. I remember just literally shouting at the top of my voice. I was like, oh no. And then as soon when the cross came in, I was there like game over, literally. And yeah, devastating.
There you have it.
And then what's the final thing? Play of the match, right? Play of the match.
Yeah, that play of the moment.
Struggling. Well, first half there was hardly anything. You know what? I know it got chalked off, but that goal with Darwin, I know it didn't count, but to get him behind, even though he's 2 centimeters offside with his sleeve. But to get latch onto the ball and then that control, and then to beat his man and then calmly slot it into the bottom corner. That was that's why he's worth 80, 90, 100 million. And if he does move on in the summer, wish him all the best. I think he's been a good servant for us this year. Wasn't that good last year, but he's a top guy. So fair play to him.
Yeah, man. Luis, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm very simple. For me, Chorizo of the match was the referee.
No.
My play of the match was the great call by the referee. And my man of the match was the yellow card. Because, fuck me,
It
was everywhere. He was everywhere, man.
That guy was everywhere. That guy was.
The guy was there. So, yeah. So, that's that. Thank you.
Nah, it's good, man. It's good, man. I'll work kind of backwards. I'm gonna agree, man. The Chorizo match, the referees, how they handled VAR, the carding today, just very frustrating how it was all done. Leads into the play of the match, the 2 centimeters, man. Just a tip, man. It is what it is. It's just
No, I'm reading what Francisco said.
Of course
it
you
was
are.
a Louis Zell hair strand offside.
Oh man, yeah. that is hilarious. Quick thing that Louis Zell, man, I gotta say that Picanya, that's actually
he's going somewhere.
He is. That's a quick 12 months. That's a quick 12. Hey, you know what? I'm not one to say anything about weight, but I'll just say that much, man. He's enjoying life, man. He's enjoying life.
He's enjoying retirement.
He's enjoying retirement,
from football, man. I guess.
Fuck, from everything, man. From everything. And then my player of the match. I'm gonna give Darwin. I really like this, man. I love right here. I don't know if the sound's coming through or not, so I don't want to blare the speakers.
Yeah, it is.
That was really loud, man. But just him coming out, you had a good game. This right there, I don't know, man. The guy, he's really coming to his own. He was one of the only guys that actually provided that critical threat, to be honest, all game. We had a few other opportunities, but it's that guy right there. That guy was the man of the match for me. I hope all these things we talk about him staying possibly. I don't think it's going to happen. Realistically, I think the money is just so much. I think these stories of United are true. I think United wants to splash big. I think Newcastle wants to splash big. And I think there's some other clubs that are looking at it, right? So, and I think, honestly, if we got $80 million, that's a lot of money for a guy that's had some injury issues that over a year ago was playing in the second division of La Liga. And, he has had a good run. I really hope he gets to stay, though, man. I really do hope he gets to stay. And I agree. It would be a downgrade. For United, it would be a downgrade. I think Newcastle would be a downgrade. But I think if fans think, it's the money, man. It's the money. It's if you're gonna go for something stupid, if they think that Jack Grealish guy's worth $100 million, if they come to us with that kind of money, that's hard, man. I'm being a dick about that guy, but it's just because of the no offense, Ethan. I know you're British. No offense, Luis.
You son of a I swear to God, bro.
I love to.
Listen,
no. There is obviously it's England. Portugal has a bias towards the Portuguese players in their Liga, and sometimes they overhype the Portuguese players, but maybe they did not merit it to have that hype. England does the same thing, and it's just their media is even bigger. And it's the media, just how loud their media is and how arrogant sometimes commentators are, which the Portuguese ones are arrogant also. It's just I find the English ones, because I speak English, feel a bit louder. And sometimes the way they talk up, it's not them talking up Grealish. I got no issue with that. It's the talking down. There's a lot of shit talking of other talent. And I got a lot of friends that are United fans, and I kind of look at the shit talking going on at that club's quite comical. And just the way that they'll talk about a Maguire and kind of try to buffer him. Nowadays, I think he's finally lost his protection versus other players. But anyways, that's a whole other show. I don't have time for that.
But the thing is, though, if you've got an English player who's doing well in the Prem or whatever, it's like because he's English.
It's huge.
Because he's English, they'll let touch another 20, 30 mil on him. Like if Harry Maguire was like from, I don't know, like Cape Verde or the Cayman Islands.
I love that. I love that. What a show! What a show!
You know what I mean? He would not be worth 80 million.
He's the niece cousin. He's the niece cousin. I love that reference. Maguire, the niece cousin, man. He's like that long lost cousin.
Yeah.
You know, that's hilarious.
But you know what I mean? Because he was English, he's worth 80 million. But
I love it.
I just tried to name like a really obscure like country, and you know what I mean.
No, if he was from Cape Verde, he'd be a Portuguese. He'd be a Portuguese national because that's what happens. If you have any talent from Cape Verde, you play in Portugal. No one plays Cape Verde. But yeah, no, it's quite funny. That's a random shout. I love that shout. Verde, he's Sportista.
I'm done.
That's a good ending. That's a good ending.
Put a fork on me or in me. I'm done.
Hey,
Cape Verde. Tell you what though, good place for holidays. If your parents ever ask you, Cape Verde, mate. Boa Vista, beautiful. Never been there though.
I hear nice things. But Grealish, I'm picturing Grealish from Cape Verde. It's like the next best thing would be like if he was from Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like, Grealish walking around with the Rastafarian hat.
Another thing though,
that city.
the reason that English players are so expensive in England is because I'm pretty sure Ethan knows
Branding.
this.
It's branding.
No. Also, you need to have
the
like
requirement. The requirement.
Yeah,
You're
the
right.
requirement.
Yeah. Forget
when
about
you have
that.
a player that is English that could potentially line up, like, don't City have like some Carlton guy, goalkeeper?
It's called Carlson.
Yeah, he doesn't play. He's
literally just Edison's like hype man. Literally, he's registered. Obviously, he meets the requirements, and he's literally getting paid literally thousands and thousands of pounds. Yeah, and it's Ben Foster. He says like he's good friends with Scott Carson. He goes, he knows what he is. He's literally just there to hype Edison up to build his confidence. You know what I mean? So whenever he makes a save, he
He's
over-exaggerates.
the equivalent of.
He goes, "Go on, son."
Get into him.
Hey, he's the.
What's going on today? Yeah? Go on, son.
He's the English version of Paul Lopes.
Yeah, true. No, but the thing is,
Paul Lopes at least played a game.
and they lifted the trophies.
And broke
do that.
Yeah, and he broke a trophy.
Sorry, Carson.
Do you remember when Paul Lopes got brought up on the Taça Liga, and they used to make the trophy out of glass? I think they still do. And he got up, and when he went to get up on that, he slipped and shattered the trophy.
Shattered the fucking thing.
And it's like,
Ethan, be careful, mate. You're not allowed to show your balls on the street.
Why? Oh, shush. Oh, shush. I love the beginning. Now we're done.
What?
So
he's showing his balls.
Like, think of this. This I find this hilarious.
There you go. That's his ball.
There you go. It's.
Fuck off.
I gotta say, shout out to George Mendes. So all this work is done with Darwin. Everyone's hyped up about Darwin. Mendes like, yo, sign here, man. You're my guy now. I want this cut of commission. It sounds like they're gonna sell you now. He's been his agent for 3 weeks, and he might get a massive payout as an agent. Yeah. But that's his job, man. That's his job. All right, man. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Hopefully, you guys have lots of fun lined up. I'm out to go see that Multiverse of Madness. I know Luigi has been talking about it all weekend. Ish guys don't call it boca. You say, don't call it boca. They'll think, oh, Dr.
I don't even know
Sezadu.
what it's about. I honestly don't even know what it's about.
All Luigi knows is he's Googling Dr. Sezadu, Esquisito. I can't speak today.
Doutor Esquisito.
Esquisito. Dr. Esquisito. Oh, they're all wrong kind of websites
Doutor
though.
Estranho. Doutor Estranho.
Dr. Strang.
Yeah.
But he's not doing it on the proper websites. He's doing it on the wrong websites, and he's been telling me all these like insights of what's going on these websites with the nurses. He is on the wrong website. So someone sent him a proper link to a bootleg site because he's looking at other kind of boot things.
Hey, Zach, I'll do that on Monday, bro. I'm streaming on Monday. I got 58 packs to open. So I open the packs and I can 1v1 you and make you cry, bitch.
This is
Mario's
actually
not looking for the
no.
comment.
I just saw this comment here and I just thought this was kind of fucking hilarious. Actually, to be honest, this is, you know what? Player of the match, the referee, man. He's fucking Einstein.
Teenage Wasteland.
Hey, you know what? It's a song. I'm just a teenage wasteland. No, Green Day.
Is it?
Greenpeace. No,
Greenpeace.
not Greenpeace. Green Day.
Green Day, mate, perhaps.
Yeah. Teenage
Okay,
Wasteland.
boys. I'm
All
done.
right, we're really
Get
good.
a fork in me.
All right, enjoy, you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy life. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.